Hello and welcome to Rev Sports. We've got a full house here. Debashish Sen, Shomik Chakrabarti, Bharat Ramraj, and Abhishek Mishra, who's joining us from outside of the Ekana Stadium in Lucknow, where we're going to see Royal Challengers Bangalore take on Sunrisers Hyderabad. It's an inconsequential match. RCB have already made it to the playoffs. They're at in the top two of the table at number two, sitting there comfortably, and will take on Gujarat Titans in the playoffs. But it's still quite interesting to see how RCB will take on this match. Will there be any experimentation in the squad? Will they stick to the usual winning combination, or what will happen tonight? Will SRH go out on a high? It's something we all want to wait for. But we have visuals from outside of the stadium, and as I said, Abhishek is joining us, and we've lost him there for a little bit, but that's all right. But the other thing we're going to talk about is who should be the next Test captain for India. As things stand, we all know that Shubman Gill is the front runner. And the reason for that is, of course, Jasprit Bumrah is the most sane choice, or is the most obvious choice here. But the fact that the matches are too close to each other, match number 2 and 3 and 4, are too close to each other, and that makes it difficult for Jasprit Bumrah to play in all 5 test matches. He will likely only play in a maximum of 3 test matches, which makes it difficult for the selectors to make him captain, since they are looking for a long-term captain and not a stopgap captain. In that sense, Shubman Gill is the front runner at this point, and vice captaincy, we're hearing the name Rishabh Pant. But we'll take everyone's opinions on who they think the next Test captain should be. Should it be a stopgap captain, or should it be someone like a Shubman Gill? But let's go over to Abhishek Mishra first, who's joining us from outside of the Ekana Stadium. अभिषेक बताइए कैसा माहौल है वहां पे? जितने आपने विजुअल्स भेजे हैं उसमें से तो यही लग रहा है कि आरसीबी फैंस बहुत खुश है और बहुत एंजॉय कर रहे हैं.
डेफिनेटली आई मीन आरसीबी फैन बहुत ज्यादा खुश हैं अगर बात किया जाए, क्योंकि लास्ट टाइम जब मैच टेम्परेरी सस्पेंड हो गया था, पोस्टपोन हो गया था, तो लोगों में काफी निराशा थी। लखनऊ से आए थे जो या बाकी और एरियाज से आए थे, वेदर सो मेनी फैंस केम फ्रॉम नेपाल एज वेल, और वो बहुत ज्यादा डिसअपॉइंटेड थे कि विराट कोहली को देखने का एक मौका था, वो शायद मिस हो जाएगा। कहीं ना कहीं एक गिफ्ट मिला है उन सारे विराट कोहली फैंस को जो लखनऊ या आसपास के शहरों में रहते हैं। दो मैचेस मिले हैं और बिल्डअप काफी मतलब अराउंड 3 PM से स्टार्ट हो गया, लोग आने शुरू हो गए। राइट नाउ पीपल आर रियली एक्साइटेड, काफी एनर्जेटिक है। बाहर बाकायदे पूरा सेलिब्रेशन चल रहा है लोगों का, एंड दे आर वेटिंग फॉर बस टू कम। एंड आई थिंक जब बस आएगी तो और भी ज्यादा एक्साइटिंग सीन शायद निकल के आएगी, क्योंकि अभी से ही सिक्योरिटी जो है वो रोड से अपना बाकी बचाव करने लगी है कि आप एक साइड पे हो जाइए, क्योंकि अभी तो काफी फैंस आने शुरू हुए हैं। हीट बहुत ज्यादा है, बहुत ज्यादा ह्यूमिडिटी भी है, और फिर भी जो जोश है वो फैंस का वो कम नहीं हो रहा है कहीं ना कहीं।
बहुत अच्छा लगा सुन के। इंटरेस्टिंग दैट आपके पीछे बहुत सारे फैंस भी है, उनसे भी पूछ लीजिए कैसा लग रहा है उन्हें। विराट कोहली को देख चले गए। But it's quite interesting that Abhishek says that the build-up starts from 3 p.m. in that heat, because I've been to Delhi, Naman has been in Mumbai, and because of the heat, the build-up usually starts after 6 p.m. and that's when the crowd really starts pouring in. So it's quite interesting to see how enthusiastic Lucknow crowd is, especially for a Virat Kohli. And the last time I was in Delhi, Dhoni was playing, and still there was not as much crowd as there is outside of the Lucknow stadium. So it's quite an interesting build up there. These are the visuals from outside of the stadium. But Bharat, if I were to ask you, how it's actually really nice that BCCI, when they resumed the games, they thought of, first of all, redoing the Punjab, the match in Dharamshala that was replayed, and the fact that Ekana, Lucknow people still got a chance to see Virat Kohli after the last one had been cancelled.
Perspective, it is great that they are going to see Virat Kohli play for RCB in Lucknow. Although I have to say that the weather in Bangalore over the last couple of days, there is no rain, not much rain, very little rain. So the game could have been held here as well if the weather was the reason why they shifted it. But from Lucknow fans' perspective, it's great to see all these fans wearing RCB's jerseys. Not many whites in there, but RCB's jerseys Virat Kohli's jerseys they're wearing, and as he noted that from 3 p.m. itself they started coming in. The fans started coming in. Even here in Bangalore, around 3:30, 4 p.m., you see enough fans outside the stadium. Obviously, around 6 p.m., this crowd would get very sizable, substantial. But even at 3:30, 4 p.m., expect fans to come here, and for the fans in Lucknow also to do that. That tells you about the craze of someone like craze that they have for someone like Virat Kohli.
Shamik, I'll take this comment and give it to you. This is the year of RCB. What do you think?
Could be. This has been the year. This has been the year of underdogs. If you look at football, Tottenham Hotspur eventually won a trophy. Crystal Palace won the FA Cup. Newcastle United won the League Cup. So this has been a year of underdogs, and yes, eventually, RCB might go on and win a trophy at long last. Let's see what happens. A lot will depend on whether they will get Josh Hazlewood back or not. I read a news report on Cricinfo today saying that Josh Hazlewood might be available for the playoffs. So from that point of view, let's see, Hazlewood coming back and joining the squad in the playoffs would be a real shot in the arm. Given the pattern, Gargi, you can be very, very optimistic.
All right. We'll take that answer. But अभिषेक ये बताइए, मैंने आज तक आपको पूछा नहीं, आप किस फ्रेंचाइजी के फैन हो, फॉलो करते हो किसी फ्रेंचाइजी को, और क्या लगता है क्या ये सार आरसीबी का हो सकता है?
I mean, I'm a die-hard CSK fan. So from the very start of IPL, I mean, जब से मैंने देखना शुरू किया, so I mean, just like सामिक सर ने भी बोला कि ये अंडरडॉग्स का सीजन है, सीजन ऑफ सरप्राइजेस वी कैन से. टॉटनहम हॉटस्पर को विक्ट्री मिली और हैरी केन का मिला, तो आई मीन आरसीबी का एक जो लॉन्ग वेट है वो शायद पूरा हो सकता है इस सीजन. तो या वी ऑल कैन से, आई मीन फिंगर क्रॉस फॉर आरसीबी. डिपेंड अपॉन कि यहाँ से कितना बेहतर करते हैं, क्योंकि अभी तक जो किया वो एक अलग बात थी, लेकिन अब यहाँ से कितना बेहतर करते हैं वो डिसाइड होगा. मोस्ट प्रोबेबली अगर टॉप 2 में फिनिश करते हैं तो शायद थोड़े चांसेस और भी बेहतर होंगे, बिकॉज इन द लास्ट 5-6 सीजन वो प्लेऑफ्स में जा रहे हैं, 4-5 टाइम से प्लेऑफ्स में गए, बट स्टिल कुडंट मेक इट. तो एलिमिनेटर में ही एलिमिनेट हो गए. तो दिस टाइम श्योरली दे शुड लुक टू फिनिश इन द टॉप 2. और उसके बाद देखना है कि उनकी परफॉर्मेंस कैसी रहती है. वो एज अ टीम अभी तक खेलती हुई आरसीबी आई है, आगे कैसे खेलेगी वो डिसाइड करेगा आरसीबी का फ्यूचर क्या होगा इस साल.
बिल्कुल. Now let's move on to the conversation that is more important at this point than this match, because it's an inconsequential match. I'm not saying it's not an important one, but at the same time, it's not going to change anyone's fate. RCB have qualified, SRH are already out. But on the other hand, what we have our eyes on right now is the India squad announcement, which will happen tomorrow. And we are all somewhat anxious, excited to see what squad is announced. Yesterday this morning we spoke about the probable 11s and not the probable 11, the probable 15 or 16 main squad. But Debashish, now when it comes to the captain, you have a few options here. One option is make Shubman Gill the captain and have either a KL Rahul or a Rishabh Pant as vice captain. The other option that you have is to have Jasprit Bumrah as the captain and Shubman Gill as the vice captain, stepping in the games where Jasprit Bumrah is not playing. So these are the a few combinations that you can play with, and which is the most likely that you think will happen at this point?
Gargi, I think it's more or less confidence. We know who the captain will be now. It's obviously Shubman Gill, as you started this live broadcast by saying that Shubman Gill is the front runner, and in all probability he will be named as the captain for them. But the point of contention will be who will be his deputy. Yes, you have someone like a Rishabh Pant who is 27 years old, or would you invest in someone like a KL Rahul who is 33 years? Looking at a long-term goal, on which basis you are making Shubman Gill the captain, you should have someone like a Rishabh Pant straight away as the vice captain. If you are investing in youngsters, yes, KL Rahul, both KL Rahul and Rishabh Pant has done well in overseas conditions, especially someone like a Rishabh Pant who has 2 centuries to his belt in England. So yes, and don't relate his performance in the white ball format, which is test ball. So when it comes to test ball credentials, he is definitely an X factor for India. And what is more interesting for me is that with him being the captain, if he is made the vice captain, remember he is also the wicket keeper. So we have already seen the likes of MS Dhoni and KL Rahul. Means obviously it's an advantage when you are keeping and you can take those referrals, and obviously you would be in a better position to judge things. How is the things shaping? So if you ask me, I would rather go for Shubman Gill as the captain and Rishabh Pant as deputy.
All right, Bharat, what's your take here? And one other question that I'd like to supplement here is the fact that a lot of people are bringing up the fact that Shubman Gill has not done well in Sena countries, and having a captain who has been silent with the bat in Sena countries is a concern or not for you at this point?
Yeah, I noted it before. For me, first of all, it's about picking 11 players and then appointing a captain among those 11 players. Obviously, not my words. These are Ian Chappell's words. Right since he became the captain of Australia in 1971, 1972, it was against England. 1973 against England. He has been he has always said in that manner that first of all pick the 11 players and then name the captain. So I also belong to that particular school. But here in this case, what has happened is there are not many choices outside of someone like Jasprit Bumrah. If Bumrah has to be appointed, most likely he won't play the 5 test matches. So that is where it goes against him. Then Shubman Gill. Perhaps the second option is to appoint someone like Bumrah for 2-3 test matches. If he doesn't play in one of them, then name Shubman Gill. But again, that doesn't give stability. So I understand where it is coming from, that Gill has to score runs because a captain has to lead from the front. He can't really lead from behind. Even Pataudi with his troubles, high troubles, still scored brilliant hundreds at Leeds, at MCG, played that a couple of brilliant 50s. So you have to lead from the front. So from that sense, Shubman Gill has to score runs. In Sena Nations, he has had problems against the Nip Packer, against all kinds of bowlers, seamers. Let it be Kyle Jamieson, let it be Jimmy Anderson, let it be Tim Southee. Yes, a couple of them have retired. Scott Boland, all of them with that Nip Packer or in-swinger have really troubled him. So yes, I am hearing that he's practicing very hard in the nets. That's good sign for him. As you know, there are two things that go against Shubman Gill currently when it comes to playing the Nip Packer. One is that he plays with very high hands. Because of that, maybe he doesn't really get to the pitch with that Nip Packer. The other one is he doesn't really load, press and release with his back foot, and that is why his front foot is not going towards the pitch of the ball. That's what experts would say. So these are two issues he has. So it's not like it's not trying to correct it. I remember in 2024 in India, that was after he got out to Anderson in the first innings of the second test. He actually corrected it and it helped him against his nemesis for the next 3 tests before he finally got bowled after scoring 100 in Dharamsala. Maybe it is because he plays in 3 formats, he gets into bad habits because he's suddenly from test cricket, he's playing T20 cricket where you have to play differently, where you have to kind of clear the front leg and hike it across the line through mid-wicket. But it's good to see that he's practicing in the nets, and hopefully he'll be able to overcome it and score a lot of runs, at least some runs in England, because a captain has to lead from the front.
Before I go to Abhishek, Shamik, the fact that selectors are at this point saying that they want a captain who can last out the entire WTC cycle till 2027. Now, when we talk about fitness, someone who's as young as Shubman Gill will likely not have any problems lasting out the entire cycle. But when it comes to runs, when it comes to the bat, if Shubman Gill continues performing the way that he has in Sena countries, will that be a problem?
Absolutely, you nailed it, Gargi. I mean, he fitness-wise, he will definitely last this upcoming WTC cycle. But form-wise, will he last this WTC cycle? He will have to show that by scoring runs on the road where his average is below 30. See, I wrote that India captaincy, even today, is not an open and shut case, and I stick to that because from my experience, I know things can change at the 11th hour in the boardroom. I have seen that firsthand. Virat Kohli, MS Dhoni's case, things got changed in the boardroom after the selectors decided that Virat Kohli will succeed MS Dhoni following back-to-back whitewashes in England and Australia. Um, so it ain't over until it is over as far as Indian cricket is concerned. What I'm told, and very interesting, Gagi, I will not name the official or BCCI functionary. About a few days back, 5 days back, I called him and we were having a word, and I told him jokingly, "तो आपने शुभमान गिल को तो कैप्टन बना दिया." So he said, "वो कैप्टन हो गया है? कौन बोला?" So I said, "He hasn't." He said, "I will not say anything. I will not say anything. But the thing is that अभी तो सिलेक्शन मीटिंग देर है, देखते हैं क्या होता है." So this is the thing. Things can change. Things can change at at the board in the boardroom. So until it is announced, yes, absolutely, you are absolutely right. Shubman Gill is the front runner. He had a meeting with Gautam Gambhir also, but that doesn't necessarily mean his candidature has been rubber stamped. Maybe he has a 80% chance, but the rest 20%. Even I'm told there is a wild card option, and that is KL Rahul. The thing is that Bumrah, there is another school of thought. Give Bumrah the captaincy, give Shubman Gill the vice captaincy after 2 tests. If Bumrah pulls out, he takes rest for the third, Shubman can be the captain in there. In a way, you will allow him to groom into the job, grow into the job. You are throwing in him at the deep end, despite the fact his test pedigree outside India hasn't been proven yet. Now, what will happen if hypothetically Shubman fails in the first 2 tests? That might affect his captaincy also because he is a young captain. So that might affect his captaincy also. Maybe Mr. Gautam Gambhir is very keen to have. I don't know whether Mr. Gautam Gambhir is very keen to have Shubman Gill as his captain, because there is a logic also that we are picking a captain for the entire duration of this WTC cycle. But sometimes you have to pick horses for courses. Bumrah has the respect of the dressing room. He is a leader. In any case, he is a leader. If Bumrah is picked as a leader, I think a lot of problems can be solved. The entire dressing room discord that we saw in Australia, that might not rear its head in England also. And there is a logic for KL Rahul, which is a wild card option, that like Anil Kumble bridged the gap between Rahul Dravid and Dhoni after Rahul Dravid suddenly quit captaincy post the 2007 series in England. And Dhoni at that time was made his deputy, although Dhoni had won the T20 World Cup. Dhoni at that time was made his deputy in red ball cricket. And after Anil Kumble's fitness didn't allow him to carry for long. But by then, Dhoni was ready and it was handed over to Dhoni. So KL Rahul might also bridge the gap between Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill. That is also a left field option. But yes, Shubman Gill remains the front runner, but it is not an open and shut case.
अभिषेक, अगर कैप्टनसी के डिबेट से आगे बढ़ते हैं, कीथ ने यहाँ एक मैसेज कमेंट भेजा है. ही सेइंग हु डिजर्व्स टू स्टार्ट फॉर इंडिया इन द फर्स्ट टेस्ट एट हेडिंगली between Abhimanyu Iswaran and Sai Sudarshan if you had to pick one as of now. Abhimanyu Iswaran is leading India A, and of course, Sai Sudarshan is a strong name for number 3 in the main squad. So, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, Ishwaran has done so good in the domestic circuit as well. And I'm looking at Sai Sudarshan. He's very pretty confident in the IPL. He's also one of leading his run scorer. So it will be tough to find out, but still, I mean, on behalf of seniority, on behalf of some experience, I would love to see Abhimanyu Ishwaran. He has a very long wait. He waited for a long to give for this kind of chance, and now he has the chance. So I think at that point in the Headangli, Abhimanyu Ishwaran should be the go-to guy.
What do you think, Debashish? Is it Abhimanyu Iswaran or Sai Sudarshan who starts ahead in the main squad? In the playing 11, if you were to talk, who will get in the
A lot,
playing 11?
a lot will depend on how they pair in that two match series against England Lions. And obviously, yes, Abhimanyu has scored loads of runs, but we have seen what was the case down under. Means of both he and Sarfaraz Ahmed, Sarfaraz Khan were just tourists. To put it correctly. So yes, I very much doubt whether Abhimanyu Ishwaran means with due respect to him, whether he has the credentials to make it count in international cricket. But definitely Sai Sudarshan is someone who we can put our faith on. Means obviously he has scored runs. He has been the man in form in the IPL, scoring more than 500 runs, and obviously he will be there before the second test against England Lions. So he will have plenty of time to get acclimatized to the conditions, and I think when you talk about transitions, means when you talk about a Shubman Gills or a Rajesh Pants, then it is perhaps the right time to get in a Sai Sudarshan as well. Given that you already you need to repose the faith in them. And yes, and he might not be successful, but no harm in trying, and he has that ability to do it. So I, for one, does not see Abhimanyu Ishwaran as far as that. But for me, you need a backup opener. Definitely, you need a backup opener in England. Means for big tours like England and Australia and South Africa, you need an extra backup opener. Means you can't just rely on getting in two openers for such an important series against England. So if someone like between Yashasvi Jaiswal or a KL Rahul get injured, it cannot be a stopgap opener in doing the job. It has to be a specialist opener. So definitely that will be an interesting call as far as the selection committee meeting is concerned tomorrow. Gargi.
I think you answered that pretty well. Sai Mahan has sent us a comment and he's saying, what about Ravindra Jadeja for captaincy? Ashwin has pointed out in his YouTube channel, it is a wild card option. Well, Sai, I mean, me, Shamik, Devashish, whoever have talked to sources, it is quite clear that selectors don't want to look back. Even when names like Chiteshwar Pujara and Ajinkya Rahane were popping up, selectors were very clear about the fact that this is a team in transition and they want to look ahead and not behind, which is the reason why even when you have a Ravindra Jadeja or a KL Rahul or whoever, or even Jasprit Bumrah, they want to look ahead, which is why Gill is the front runner at this point. Otherwise, there would have been no other option than to make Jasprit Bumrah the captain. But at this point, selectors are very very clear, no looking back. Bharat, why don't you take this comment? Yeah.
And also, Gargi, just one more thing, that Ravindra Jadeja probably has one or two more series left in international cricket as far as Test cricket is concerned.
Which refutes the point of them looking for a captain who lasts the entire WTC cycle. So it's very clear at this point. Bharat, why don't you take this?
England could well be his last even.
Could be.
Yeah.
Bharat, Syed Nizamuddin is saying Rishabh Pant is the right choice for Team India captaincy. What do you think of that?
Not very sure going by how he has captained LSG. He's made a few tactical errors as well. Not giving Bishnoi that over to MS Dhoni didn't really make sense because MS Dhoni has been going at a strike rate of around 110 against spin in the last 2-3 years. And even in terms of his, body language, in terms of his temperament, him shouting or screaming at the players a couple of times when LSG were under the pump, didn't really didn't really show him in good light, I would say, as far as his captaincy skills are concerned. I understand he's going through bad form. In that respect as well, it's better for him not to captain the Indian team, because yes, the format is different, but still it would have affected him mentally, that the bad form that is going through with LSG. So I think it is better for him not to become the captain. Yes, he can become the vice captain, because as far as the vice captain is concerned, he is a wicket keeper, so he can definitely give enough insights as to what the batter is doing, or what the pitch is doing, or the conditions, how the conditions are at that particular moment. So that is something that he can do. I will just want to add a point on Abhimanyu Iswaran as well. When he played against Australia A, he was troubled by bowlers like Buckingham and couple of other bowlers who were mainly bowling around 80 miles, 85, 83, 84 miles per hour. That I think selectors would have somewhere seen it as well, that he was getting rushed by these pace bowlers. So they may not have the greatest of opinion on him, because in Australia as well, he didn't get a chance in any of the test matches. They could have at some point even in they could have drafted him, because Rohit Sharma obviously was struggling at the top, but they didn't. So maybe they have that kind of opinion as well, because against Australia A, he was really troubled. And someone like, if you really want to know about how Sai Sudarshan plays against quality pace bowling, then I would refer you to that Duleep Trophy game last year, when he came up against Prasidh Krishna, who really tried to bounce him out, and he waded through that particular spell and scored 111. I'm not saying he doesn't have any weakness, but at least against some good quality bowling, he showed that mental aptitude in that game and scored 100.
So, final few minutes on this show. Let's go back to the RCB versus SRH game. Abhishek, build up बताइए कैसा हो रहा है? And of course, tell us your predictions. RCB or SRH? Who do you see winning at Lucknow?
I mean, build-up is very good. अभी और ज्यादा लोग आना शुरू हुए हैं, तो इट विल बी अ फुल हाउस मोस्ट प्रोबेबली. ऑल्सो टिकट्स बहुत लेट आए, अनाउंसमेंट 20th को ही. स्टिल काफी अच्छे नंबर्स में फैंस आए हुए हैं, तो बिल्डअप इज गुड. एंड विद द टाइम थोड़ा सा और काम ढलेगी तो और भी लोग आना शुरू हो जाएंगे, क्योंकि गर्मी बहुत ज्यादा है लखनऊ में. नॉर्थ इंडिया में इट इज समथिंग आउट 40-42 डिग्री. ह्यूमिडिटी बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ गई है, क्योंकि कल बारिश हुई थी, और बारिश की वजह से थोड़ा सा और ह्यूमिडिटी बढ़ गई है. थोड़ा सा और गर्मी कह सकते हो आप, थोड़ी सी और ज्यादा दिख रही है. तो अभी तो काफी अच्छे नंबर्स में फैन दिख रहे हैं. हाँ, उस नंबर्स में शायद नहीं दिख रहे हैं जैसे कि अगर मैचेस पहले से डिसाइड होते, क्योंकि आरसीबी के मैचेस हो या चेन्नई के मैचेस हो या मुंबई के मैचेस हो, तो लोग 1 हफ्ते 2 हफ्ते पहले से ही डिसाइड करते हैं पूरा प्लान. और जो बाकी बहुत बाहर से फैंस आते हैं, जस्ट लाइक सम फैंस कम फ्रॉम नेपाल, बिहार एंड ऑल, दो जो भी नेबर स्टेट्स हैं, उनके लिए प्लानिंग करनी होती है. सो वो शायद नहीं आ पाए अभी. लोकल फैंस आर हियर, बट इट विल बी ऑलमोस्ट जर्नल स्टैंड सारे फुल हुए होंगे. और प्रेडिक्शन की बात की जाए तो ये सारा ऑलरेडी अच्छी फॉर्म में है. लास्ट टाइम जब इन्होंने लखनऊ के अगेंस्ट खेला था, अभिषेक शर्मा द मैन हु रियली प्लेड वेल. और उसके लास्ट ईयर भी देखा जाए तो यसारच ने एक हिस्टोरिक केस किया था, वो भी एक बड़ी बात होगी. तो अभी यसारच थोड़ी सी अच्छे क्रम में दिख रही होगी. फिर भी लखनऊ की बात की जाए तो उनके पास एंडी फ्लॉवर है, उनके पास कृणाल पांड्या है, दोनों को एक्सपीरियंस है काना के ग्राउंड के डायमेंशन के, बाकी सब चीजों के. दे हैव लोकल लेट स्वास्तिक चिकारा एज वेल. सो इट विल बी अ टफ बैटल, इंटरेस्टिंग बैटल. देखना होगा कि आरसीबी के टॉप 2 में फिनिश करती है यसारच. स्टिल आई विल गो विद द आरसीबी टुडे.
Thanks. Thanks, Abhishek. Thank you for
राय दे सकते हैं.
I was going to end the show here, but then we got this comment. Hari, who's saying that North Indians only want players from the North as captain. Gill has struggled in Sena countries. Pant is in different form, but there are certainties thanks to their nativity. Shamik, I'd like you to please bring up the fact again that if something like this happens, this is the first time we'll have North Indian as the captain and the vice captain.
As I said last night also, I mean, I would be very, very surprised if Shubman Gill is the captain and also Pant is the vice captain, because both captain and vice captain from North Zone, it has never happened in Indian cricket. Captain and vice captain from Bombay, it has happened. Dilip Vengsarkar, captain Ravi Shastri, for example, Dilip Vengsarkar and Ravi Shastri as his deputy. It had happened, but captain and vice captain both from North Zone. It has happened. It has never happened in Indian cricket. So if Gill is captain and Rishabh is his deputy, I would be very, very surprised.
All right. On that note, thank you so much everyone for joining. Abhishek, Shamik, Devashish, and Bharat. We'll be looking forward to the squad announcement. Of course, we'll be here, and Bharat's light has gone off, but we'll be here. We'll be updating you guys on whatever news we have regarding the team announcement. But till then, thank you so much for joining, and stay tuned to Ref Sports.